Hi everyone, and welcome to the Libra January 2022 New Year's reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot and Meaning-Based Spiritual Coaching Services. I am Lauren. Hi and welcome. So this reading is meant to help illuminate a challenge or challenges you are currently facing to help you find the meaning and why you are facing those challenges. So what I'm going to do here to start the reading is we're going to take a look at your energy. Then we're going to take a look at the energy of your external environment, what spirit would like you to engage with, the overarching energy of why, what are you learning about yourself, what are you illuminating about yourself, and then the challenges that are preventing you from being able to basically step up into the highest version of yourself, which is what Spirit is asking you to do right now. So we have for you, in your internal energy, we have the Two of Cups and we have the Nine of Wands. That's going to be your internal energy, and we'll take a look at what Spirit's asking you right now to engage with in your external environment. And we're looking at the meaning so that you are better aware of what your spiritual path and purpose are and how you specifically can be of service to the greater collective human experience. So that's what we're taking a look at today. All right, so in your external environment, we have the Page of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. Beautiful. So this is your overarching message. This is what you are currently basically being asked to learn about, bring illumination to, and awareness to. This is what Spirit wants you to face the challenge currently to be able to make use of this new inspiration. The Ace of Wands is that new, beautiful, inspired idea. This can actually be a spark of creation. It could be somebody finding out they're pregnant, but generally it's that reconnection to your eternal flame, that part of yourself that is your magic wand that makes you unique. And it's interesting. So what I'm getting right off the bat, Libra, for what you're dealing with right now in your internal energy is the Two of Cups and the Nine of Wands. There's this quality here of feeling like you've kind of been through it, been through the ringer in trying to match your cup to somebody else's cup, meaning trying to find that equal partnership in your life, whether this is in business, whether this is in a romantic partnership, this could even be in a familial relationship, or even friendships. But it feels like you're just at this point of, I've just been through it all. The Nine of Wands is the wounded or weary warrior card. He is somebody who's still standing, ready to fight another day, but he's come a long way. He's had to fight quite a few others, as signified by these wands behind him, to get to where he is. And there is this quality here, I feel, Libra, that you are sitting with this energy of, I've been trying to either make a partnership work, or I've been looking for this equal partnership and I just haven't found it. I've tried to make things work. I've tried to do all the right things, and I don't know if I can go that final step. It just feels like too much of a physical burden. When we think about wands are action. It's where we basically take inspired action. It can be passion. And there's this quality here of when we go from the Nine of Wands to the Ten of Wands, that the Ten of Wands is carrying the burden that you almost can't, like you think you have to shoulder it all yourself, and in reality it's time for you to put it down and start back up with the one wand. So there's this quality coming through here of what you're currently learning about is it's time to put down the emotional baggage of others, to step up and walk away with your one stick. You don't need the bag. You don't need to stand in front of all of the things you've done, all of the failed attempts. It's time for you to walk forward with your one staff, your one wand. So there's this fresh start coming through for you here. With the Page of Swords in your external environment is, the Page of Swords can almost be sometimes called the spy card. There's a quality of trying to gain more context, trying to take a look at what is around you and understand the truth in it. There's also a quality of kind of going out and utilizing or expressing your truth, almost from a childlike sense of, I need to see where this fits. I need to see what this even is. And so what I'm feeling between here is that you're being asked to, in understanding that it's time to move forward kind of with a fresh slate, re-engage with your own personal inspiration, letting go of the baggage of perhaps failed attempts in emotional connection with others. That as you move forward, you're meant to engage this part of yourself with this kind of fresh outlook as to kind of what's around me now. Where do I fit into my external environment? Because often when we're so looking internally to match our cup to another, and again, this doesn't have to just be in a romantic partnership. This could be that perhaps you have been trying to feel equal to a family member, or you have been trying to make a work connection partnership come to be, and it just hasn't manifested in that way. And at this point, you've been trying to look for recognition of yourself through others. And when we do that, we become hyper-focused internally, and we can sometimes lose sight of kind of what's changed around us in our external environment, of who we are in our external environment, how we move in it. And I think now Spirit's asking you to see that. What is your external environment actually like at this point? And it's time to kind of take your head from looking down at yourself to looking out around you and realize, where's my place in this? Where does my truth fit into this? And how can I just, by leaving the baggage of the past behind, have a fresh start and understanding my own magic in my external environment? Where is this going to fit? And as I start to move and express from this place, what am I going to learn about myself? What context now do I find myself in? We're going to take a look and see kind of what is blocking you from being able to, we'll take that. Let's see how many cards. From being able to really walk away from this sense of, oh, I've been through it, and I do get this feeling of kind of this failed connection of, I keep looking for this equal for me, and I keep trying to share my cup with somebody else, and it just isn't being returned. So we have the Fool, we have the High Priestess, we have the Six of Pentacles, and the Hermit. And then let's take a look. Let's see if we can get one or two more cards here for you guys. We have two more. Wow, it's a very talkative deck today. So you have the Two of Cups again, and the Nine of Wands again. Wow, if that isn't, woo, these kind of readings give me goosebumps because it's very synchronistic. There is something about the Two of Cups and the Nine of Wands about this releasing of the need to find somebody else who's going to match your cup. There's this quality of, it's time to let go of that emotional burden so that you can enter into the world with a fresh perspective. Why am I saying that? Because you have the Fool right off the bat. Now the Fool is the fresh start. The Fool is the number 0. And I like to say the concept of 0, because 0 is not really a number. It is a concept that really boils down to understanding that it is kind of the infinite. It is where everything and nothing exists at the same time. It's the potentiality of yourself boiled down to its essence. And it's this beautiful fresh start. And here it's like kind of a jester looking character, but there's this quality of taking a blind step off of a cliff, but doing so with the full faith that this is the time for that fresh start, that Spirit has your back, so to speak, and that everything is possible in this moment as you step forward. Where this can be a challenge, though, is when we are afraid to do that, when we are clinging to our wands here. And when you think about it, it's very difficult. It would be very difficult for this individual to kind of leap lightly off of this cliff if he's holding these 9 wands. It's almost like you're afraid to walk away from the pain of the past to move forward into the present. Because this is almost like a badge of honor to a certain extent. When you think about the wounded warrior here, he's showing others how far he's come. I've come this far. I've done all these things. I've traversed all of these tricky relationships, and I still haven't found my match, my equal. But look how far I've come. And I hate to say it, but most people outside of yourself aren't going to care about that. You're clinging to something that, and I have a lot of Libra in my chart as well, so I can feel you on this. I sympathize with you guys that there is this quality here of trying to show how far you've come in some aspect. And this could even be, again, in your work life. Maybe you keep jumping from job to job to job, hoping that this is going to be the right fit for you. Or hoping that you're going to get the mentor that you feel you are deserving of, or hoping to be the mentor perhaps, or who knows. But you keep kind of jumping around, but telling everybody, man, I did this at this job, and I did this at this job, and I did that at this job. And people are like, yeah, well, that's great. I don't really care. Good for you. What are you doing now? And so there's this quality here of kind of releasing that. You don't need to have this as a badge of honor or to show how far you've come. What's going to show who you are now is who you are. You with this new spark, with this new fresh outlook on life. Because then we have the High Priestess, 6 of Pentacles, and the Hermit. The High Priestess is about that deep wisdom, that understanding that actually we have all the answers from within. It's being able to make a decision by simply feeling into it, by understanding on a deep intuitive level, it's time. This is what I need to do. This is where I need to go. This is me kind of pooling all of my resources, but also relying on spirit to help me find the answers within. Instead of trying to look kind of more without, I need to look within, because we have the 6 of Pentacles and the Hermit. And this is about balance. The 6 of Pentacles is about understanding that what we put out there will come back. And that at any given time, we can be the provider, or we can be receptive of people providing something for us. And so there's this balance of understanding that maybe you've been the provider up until this point, and now it's time for you to receive. Or vice versa, maybe you've been the one receiving, and now it's time for you to step up into the role of the provider. But either way, there's this quality coming through of things kind of hanging in the cosmic balance of understanding that as you step out into this new start, that what you might feel, gosh, I put so much time and energy and effort into will come back to you. Libra, you are the sign of the scale. So this is actually kind of a lower energy component, or not component, a lower energy card of the major arcana, which for the Justice card, which is your card, Libra, which shows the scales of balance. So there's a quality here in the tangible of understanding that what you've put in will come back, and that even though you may feel like perhaps you have to walk away from something, that it will be returned to you. But that actually, in walking away and leaving this behind, you are resetting the cosmic scales. And then you move into the Hermit. And the Hermit is beautiful because the Hermit is that energy of remembering that our power lies within us. It is not external to us, it is within. So you're being reminded that yes, we do always want to seek connection with others. We do want to find equal partnership. But ultimately, you have to remember what makes you special, what makes you unique, that you have a light within you that is, I think, perhaps you've forgotten about or that you're just rediscovering. And that it's time to go out with that light shining brightly, with that lantern that you illuminate first from within and then hold without. That is what is going to bring the partnership you've so craved for yourself to you. or the opportunities to you. So again, if this is more towards, let's say, a work environment versus a romantic partnership, there could be this quality of not realizing actually what your strengths are. Realizing that, oh my gosh, every job I've had, even though it didn't work out, this was the unifying quality to all of the work I did was this. Was this eternal spark, this magic wand that only I can bring to each situation. It's a reminder of that. So that then as you go out to look maybe perhaps for your next job, that's what you capitalize on. That's what you realize you're bringing to any situation. And that's where you can kind of gain context out here by interacting with your external environment. What can I do with this part of myself? Or who can I attract with this part of myself turned on? And then it's time to realize it's time to release. This is your ultimate release card. Release the kind of wounded warrior I've been so far. You have. Congratulate yourself. You're still standing, but now it's time to start anew. And it's time to release these wands. You don't need to keep looking back on them. You don't need to keep rehashing them. And remember that it's not about finding yourself in another or seeking the recognition of another. It's about you being yourself, and someone else will come to you. She's holding up her cup, or he is. But either way, somebody has come up to also offer their cup. And that's what you're being reminded of here, is that, now imagine this. Imagine though, this is why you're being asked to kind of release this, I've come so far, this kind of weary, wounded warrior. I need to keep going. Because imagine if you met somebody new. You're getting to know them and they're sitting there telling you about all these negative things that have happened in the past in their previous relationships. And then I had this abusive relationship, and then I had to deal with this, and then I had to deal with that, and then this, and you'd be like, man, this person is so negative. Like, ugh. Same thing in a work environment. Let's say you're, sitting there and you're, applying for a new job, and all you can do is complain about all the previous work environments you've been in. Well, the other person who's hiring you is going to say, man, if this person is so negative about all their other work environments, what are they going to say about this work environment? So there's this quality here of letting that all go and starting fresh. And starting fresh and realizing you're a kind of a new person right now. Spirit's trying to remind you of what you initially were here to do. This is your spark, your eternal flame, your soul. And you're being asked to remember that. And to not be afraid to take that leap, because it's going to bring things into balance. And what you think you might have to walk away from is going to be brought back to you. Okay, now I'm going to pull 3 cards here to help utilize the principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation to help bring what is a very general reading into more of an individualized experience for you, so that you can actually ask yourselves these questions or think of these energies as you're taking action to help you clarify what is this spark. Who are you at your core? What do you bring naturally and need to shine out into every situation that you go into? What is the place and the purpose for this divine spark? All right, so I'm going to pull a card here for the energy of, sorry guys, I just need to check, make sure everything's still recording. It is. For the energy of curiosity. So we're going to ask ourselves a question around the energy of the card that comes out that you can keep in mind throughout the month of January, that is going to help you stay open to something that you probably wouldn't have been aware of otherwise. Because when you think about being curious, we are bringing awareness to something, to an aspect we're on, and we're coming in kind of with no expectations, so to speak. So we have man holding a heart. Number 45 breaking down to number 9, which is interesting because we have the number 9 coming through here, and there's this quality of kind of man holding a heart with the wounded warrior that is coming through very clearly, in that whether you are a man or a woman, or you identify with more with masculine or feminine energy, that where have you felt like you have been wearing your heart on your sleeve for a long time? Maybe even where you felt a little naive, or you felt like you were taken advantage of. And with the number 9 coming in, there's this quality of release, just like there is with the number 9. You're coming to the end of a cycle. That there's this quality here of stepping up into and away from that feeling of, if I wear my heart on my sleeve, I'm just going to get hurt. So I've got to protect it and push it away. Instead, realizing I'm meant to love. And if this is just how if I'm always kind of trying to come in with this kind of optimistic sense of wearing my heart on my sleeve, whether that's in a work environment or a home environment or a romantic partnership, where have I started to put that away? Where I feel like I wear my heart on my sleeve, but the pin that I have it attached to my sleeve with has punctured it and I'm bleeding, and I'm openly showing everybody that here's my heart on display because of what I'm sacrificing. And where can instead you bring that back to this beautiful, fresh perspective of, I just can be me again. I can just be me and give in to love, and let me see where the themes of love come up this month and how I interact with them. I think that's the biggest message here, Libra, is as you're moving through the month, where do these themes of love come up that either you feel you want to shy away from, or that make you feel kind of, I wish I could be stronger in this area, or I have to hide myself in this area, or I have so much pain and wounding in my heart chakra from this. So be aware. And I'm sorry, guys, if you can hear my daughter in the background. She's with her daddy right now, and apparently it is time to eat, and she's a little impatient. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card for the concept of courage. And this is going to be where these are the Power of Surrender deck. I love this deck. And there's going to be something that comes up that you're going to need to keep in mind that you need to surrender to as you are taking action. The courage to take action on your own behalf, meaning making those hard decisions, those day-to-day hard decisions that help actually create and manifest our reality. So it says surrender to creativity. It says let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Beautiful. Because when we're thinking about stepping out as the Fool, starting fresh and new, there can be this quality when we're going to take action that we kind of pull back. If it doesn't seem to be the exact way that we are expecting something to manifest, or we think it's going to create all these problems as we maybe start to walk away from something, or we start to we start to realize we put so much time and energy, I don't think I'm going to get anything back, that kind of thing. It's about realizing, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Maybe you are starting out on a new dream, and that's what this is. It's that spark. But you think, how am I even going to make this happen? I don't even understand even the purpose of it out here. I don't even fully understand my own light. And what it's saying is to keep in mind that as you're shying away from making those tough decisions on your own behalf, to make those new starts, to take that new kind of leap into remembering your magic, that there are all kinds of ways to get around obstacles. There are all kinds of ways to pursue a dream. We may think that in order to, let's say your dream, all of a sudden you're like, I always have wanted to write, and I'm going to write. And yet you're like, I'm going to write the great American novel. And maybe you can do that, but maybe the dream of writing has a broader application, or there's another aspect that you can start with. And so you may be sitting at your desk wanting to start the first line of this great American novel, and you have no idea what to write. It's not coming to you. Well, there's more than one way to skin a rabbit, so to speak. There's more than one way to to share your story, to share the story that you want to share, or to become a writer. And so you have to look at it from different angles. And I think that's really kind of what you're being asked to do here with the High Priestess coming up as well, that there's this quality of going within and trusting on faith that the answers will come to you as you meet with those challenges. That's why the Fool leaps off the cliff so optimistically, because he knows that Spirit will continue to support him and give him what he needs as he's going along. So he knows that as soon as he takes that step off, if it isn't like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where he takes a step and he hits the invisible walkway, if it's not that, then he knows instantly that a parachute is just going to pop out of his back and it's going to support him. Like there's this quality of you're walking on faith, so to speak, and that the answers will come to you in the time as you need them, or the person will pop up who has the next step, you know, the connection that's like, oh, come over here. So it's a really beautiful message. It's also just the message in general is let your imagination soar. Sometimes when we're taking action, we will take the safe action because we really don't want to allow ourselves to imagine if we did made the harder decision, what could be the amazing response from that? You know, well, we don't allow ourselves to step into that place of imagination because we've been hurt so many times and we're like, yeah, if I do that again, this is what's going to happen. And instead saying, well, what if instead this happened? The most amazing thing happened. What if I do sit down to start writing that great American novel and all of a sudden the story just comes out all at once? Yeah, I've tried to sit down and write this book 100 times over the years and it's gotten me to nothing. But what if this time it's different? And now I know the story I want to share, and I'm going to see why now is the time to bring this story out. That's the context. There's a quality of timing that's coming through with that as well. Okay, now I'm going to pull for the final card here for you guys. It's going to be for the concept of contemplation, which is where you're going to keep in mind the energy of this card during times of reflection throughout the month to keep you accountable. Accountable to the consequences of your actions, accountable to kind of how you're moving through the month. So we have 3 cards. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? We have Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And we have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. All messages that go so well with everything that's up here. Don't dim to fit in. It's time for you to realize your soul. And actually, I'm really curious because I keep seeing the card underneath here. 4 of Swords. So there's this quality of rest and meditation, trying to understand who you are, what's coming through from this, giving your mind a rest. Basically, this is giving the stories of the past, the wounds of the past, a rest and walking forward with your personal truth. So beautiful. And that's kind of the reminder, the realization of, oh, this is my inspiration. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Understand that all you've gone through has a purpose. That purpose is to get you to where you are today, and understanding that as you move forward with your next steps and with your light shining brightly, that this was all to prepare you for what's to come. Nothing that we go through is in vain. And nothing that we go through was meant to wound us to the point that we can't now experience our greatest potential and our greatest happiness and our greatest emotional connection to joy. What we've gone through is our challenges that Spirit has put before us, destiny that we have the free will to interact with. We can either rise up and meet the challenge like a superhero, or we can shy away and allow that challenge, destiny, to kind of overcome us. And with each destined challenge and event that we go through, it's meant to unlock a bigger portion of who we are, for us to understand and clarify for ourselves what we are here to accomplish. our potential, our greatest potential, and how that can be not only of service to ourselves, and that we get to experience that emotional connection to fulfillment and that spiritual connection to everything, but that we also get the ability to be of service to the greater collective experience, collective human experience, that we get this ability to, in experiencing our greatest potential, be able to utilize that potential to fill a needed role in the world. And that could be through sharing a story. That could be through coming into a workplace and being the one who has inspired ideas. That could be the person who is supportive to their partner, who allows a family to grow. But whatever you've gone through, it's meant to help you on your mission of channeling and uplifting humanity. And as you move forward now, keep that in mind. As you look to pursue new hobbies and new inspired ideas, it's part of that path. And then we have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Beautiful, because that really goes in with the man holding the heart and the high priestess. There's this quality of going within and going into that portal of your heart, understanding that yes, it may have been wounded in the past, but it's time now to live from that place, and live from that place fully, not with the heart bleeding and punctured and pierced, but from a wholeness of realizing you've come this far and you can still love. You can still appreciate others. You can even appreciate the people who have hurt you or the scenarios that have hurt you. And that's the power of love. It allows you to erase all of this and move forward with the fresh start, so that then you can shine your light all that brighter. Beautiful message, Libra. I hope you all have a empowered and inspiring and creative month in January. And I look forward to reading for you again in February. If you'd like to take a look at your own challenges and the meaning behind them, you can click on the link below to either schedule your own or book your own personal reading or one-on-one coaching session. I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I will see you again in February. Bye, guys.